Hello everyone, welcome to Red Summer Holdings, a real estate partnership comprising of 8 owners, Tochi, myself Zoe, Ramad, Charles, Ikechi, Chima, Innocent, and Ike. Here we discuss the evolution of our business, which shows you how group economics can be successful in regards to real estate. If you believe there is value in this information, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. With that being said, let's get to the content you've all been waiting for.
Is our broker list, which is pretty simple. I got these off of Zillow. These are all Memphis area brokers. There's 16 of them, so
I have to be out in 3 minutes, just FYI. So
no problem. We can reach
All
out
the
to
bolded
them.
ones.
The bold, they're all.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be bold. They should all be.
Maybe just my phone then, sir. I thought some names were bolded, sir.
There is this guy, which I'll get to, but so this guy seems like he is all over the place. He seems like the number one guy. I keep seeing him. And we can just break this into 2 people each. Just text, contact, call, whatever. Let me just click one so we can just see what it looks like. So the link
this is dope, man. Thanks for doing this.
Oh, you're welcome. This is for us. So like this guy, he specializes in foreign investors from everywhere. He just puts a bunch of places. Turnkey or disposition large properties, pretty much in the areas that we like, South Memphis and North Memphis. And then here's his open listings. I saw some that are possibly in our price range. These might be, I think this one was, when I looked at it, it was yeah. I just wanted to find people who dealt with numbers that we're going to be dealing with so that they're patient with us. Because, if you're moving 250K at a time, like you're going to be annoyed by us bothering you.
Yeah.
Or if you don't see the vision.
Spot, nice little condo.
This is just, but let me see. I didn't mean to. So let me go back to this. So yeah, so there's 2 each. Everybody just pick 2. Doesn't matter who, and contact them maybe within the week. Just say, hey, we're restaurant. Oh, actually, we should wait till the website is up. But I'll let you guys know.
Just say, hey, me and a group of investors are interested in Memphis. Can we discuss some of the locations? Discuss our price range, what we're looking for. You don't have to say Red Summer, it has to be a company, nothing like that. Just, I'm interested in Memphis. And you could even, and to make people take you a little more seriously, you could already say like, our group or, our group already has 3 properties in Memphis. If you say like, and I could put this I could update this Google sheet. I'll say the zip code that I'm in and like the name of the neighborhood. It's just it always helps for people to read.
Sorry. Interested in what? Interested in multifamily.
All right, peace out, guys.
All right, Zo. All right, man.
Under 100K. Okay. So yeah, very quickly. This guy was especially interesting because he had a link to his own personal page. So this guy, he's not really important in himself, but this link here sent me to sorry, I don't need this page. Sent me to like a personal listings page. I believe it's like his own home, like brokerage. And so when I put, so here's the ones that I searched. I can't see it because I have you guys, give me 1 second, let me move you. Okay, so these 27 properties are all under 100K in the Memphis area, in the Memphis zone. Let me see. So some of them are in the southern end of Memphis, and then this northern area right here. And I went ahead and did an analysis on these 27. So moving us into, and this guy, I think this guy will be important for us. I believe, especially looking at some of the properties on that site, that many of them are affordable, first of all. Second of all, they fall into the parameters we're interested in terms of multifamily. And then third of all, it seems like many of them are part of a portfolio. And so perhaps we can get, we can negotiate a bulk deal or develop a relationship with somebody with several holdings so that, we can turn over and know where we're looking. Yeah, have a better sense of what we're looking at or looking for in our next purchases when we do our analysis. So here is our new Memphis, our Memphis 2021 page. It's got a couple all these properties. So this is like the 27 ones that weren't annoying or looked crazy. We had some, not everything fits. Is there a way to zoom in? Oh well. So here are some of the prelims. Let's look at some of the averages. So the average age of the property is pretty old, 1938. The average cost though is comfortable at 66,471 and 43 cents, which is in our price range. We could definitely do that. Average down payment 16,000 at 25% down. What else was interesting? Another thing is interesting. Average rents was 745. And then the average, of course, cash on cash return with debt service was just under 14%, which is pretty good. I think that if we can average 10%, like that's pretty solid over the first, I don't know, five properties at 50K a pop, 50 to 100K a pop. I think that's pretty good. Let's look at some of the properties. I'll start from the most expensive. Okay, so there's also, we can go and look at this later, or you guys can go individually and look at them later too. I circled some things that were interesting about particular properties. So like any solid cash on cash return, I circled or squared. And then any interesting insight, like this one just came on, this particular property, which is 1590 Camden. So tenant occupied, 400 a month on both sides. So it's grossly 800 a month. What else? They'll be out pretty soon, I believe. No, expirations or no, they have
October
solid
and then
leases.
next year.
Yeah, solid leases. And then things were just replaced. So we have a couple of photos of this place. Like this is a solid, I think this is probably going to go pretty quickly because it had only been on for 2 days and that was 2 days ago. So just a solid base hit,
Yeah, that looks good.
That's a nice property, yeah.
What zip code is that?
Let's look.
38106.
Let's look actually, because that's another thing we could do is always look at the map of where she is. So South Memphis.
Yeah, I don't know that area that well.
Well, it's between the Mississippi River and the airport in Graceland. I think it's an okay neighborhood. It's probably like a B to C neighborhood. Probably closer to B minus. It's just a solid, it's like one of my favorite ones since looking and since analyzing these properties. And then we can look at the street view.
So each side is one. Each side is 1 and 1.
Yeah, each side is 1 and 1. I think this is an old picture. Sorry. I didn't realize coffee machine sounds like a fart. Street view.
Are you able to see the history on it?
I am. In 1 second. Hold on. Let me, so I think it's just recently redone. This is probably, how these. So one of you were telling me like Google Maps can show you what time at what point each picture was taken.
Yeah.
Similar homes. So these are the details here. Is there anything in particular you wanted to see?
I was just curious if they have like the last sale. I'd be curious to see what they got it for.
Passed it.
I did.
There it is. Oh no, a little more.
Okay.
There it is. 97. Oh, 2013.
So it's
For
probably
$3,000? For $4,000?
That's nuts.
I think it was in a bad shape back then.
Yeah, man.
It looks like they fixed it up.
Like we're not there, man. This if we could figure this out, and maybe that's the other thing we could try to do. If we can get somebody to get into the auctions, because like there's going to be a lot of those kind of opportunities too.
What it looks like now. It's probably the same feed.
2013 is when this was taken, so.
Yeah.
Okay. So I barring this recent photo or this photo, whatever it is, this would be a good look as long as it's functional. They said it's 400 on each side. So it comes out to what, 16% cash on cash. This is with so my estimates, this is from either a website, this is probably from the website. And then this is the local tax rate is 1.9% times the sales price. And that's across for all the properties. So that's pretty easy. And then again, 5% interest rate for 30-year fixed is the assumption. And then vacancy rate of 15% is the assumption as well. So this one's pretty good. Other properties with other insights, there's this one right here, which is got a super decent return, but it's been on for 300 plus days. But it's super cheap. It's like too cheap.
There's got to be something wrong with it.
Yeah, it's got 300 days a year.
It's haunted.
Let me see if I can. Some of them, like the Zillows and the Redfins, didn't do, like they don't really do it justice. Let's see. So investors only, tenant occupied duplex, do not approach, 275 per side, which is nuts. That's probably why it's so cheap, because I think the average rents here are between like they're like 550 basically from what I've seen. And again, so first of all, there's that guy again. Although I think that you maybe just pay for these listings. I'm not sure how that works, but part of a large portfolio. So that's the other thing. So I think part of what we can consider when we're buying is whether the properties that we're looking at are also part of large portfolios or not. This one went into something about a foreclosure, an unpaid balance.
That's interesting.
Which I don't know how you guys feel about foreclosures. I'm sure they take longer and they're like more arduous, but that's probably where the value is.
Well, what you want to do is snatch them like right before they go to the courthouse. That's what you really want to do.
Pre-foreclosure, right?
Yeah, because well, the unfortunate thing is pre-foreclosure means it's a big window. So what you want is the properties that have a notice of sale, which means they have a date that they're assigned to be sold at the courthouse. And basically, like up until that date, the owner of the property, it technically still belongs to them, so they could sell it to you. Once it goes to the auction, it belongs to the bank, and the bank's going to sell it. So like what people do is, I own a house, I'm behind on a house that I have 20,000 that I owe on it remaining. And I'm late on my payments, but the house is worth 50. Well, if you let it go to auction, the 30,000 of equity that you have in it is gone, right? But if you can sell it to somebody before it goes to auction for, 21,000, right? It clears your debt with the bank, and at least you got $1,000 to go move into an apartment or something. Like that's what people do, right? You've got to that's a narrow window, and you have to have. It's where people like just blanket people with like marketing, like those
like we'll buy your home signs and all that
yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
Like
exactly.
bandit
We buy
signs.
ugly houses.
Yeah.
Exactly. All that stuff. Yeah. Or they'll do like mailing lists where like they can pull a report from Property Radar of like, give me everything in this zip code that is notice of sale, right? And then just flood their physical mailbox with postcards or whatever.
That seems to be surprisingly effective. Like each of the like wholesalers that I've ever watched or followed on social media, one of their very like simple go-tos is always postcards and just mass mailing, which I would think would be annoying. Like every time we get them, it's annoying to me, but my mindset isn't to sell necessarily. So
yeah, and it's a numbers game, man. Like even if you, because the postcards are what, 50 cents each, maybe, probably less.
They're
it's just
less. They're
You're
even
saying
less.
thousands though.
Yeah.
But
Constantly.
exactly. You might have to put in $1,000 to mail 3,000 of them, but you might get 10 phone calls and 3 of them might actually do business with you, but you're going to make more than $3,000 off of those deals. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of the mindset of like, you have to be willing to put that money up front and realize you might not get a return on it for, weeks, months.
Like
But
realistically, if you boil it down, that's not like a real estate investing business. That's a marketing business, but it's extremely effective though. But it's a marketing business as opposed to investing, because you're doing transactions ultimately, which isn't necessarily investment, and you're spending a ton of money on marketing. So if it boils down, again, it's a marketing business that's very strong, but it's a completely different business model.
Where did Chima go? Is Chima gone?
yeah, he had a dip.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Okay. He's looking at condos. This is what was this property? How much time do you guys have? Because I'll go to the like ones that I think are interesting, but we can go through all of them.
I'm
just
good
to get a
until
better
11.
view. Good until 11. Oh, okay. In that case, so this one is 1862 Farrington Street, built 1960 for 50K. So that's 12,500 down payment. You can pretty much do that today. It's been on for slightly over a month. A duplex, average estimated monthly rents. I don't know why I put 500. That seems low for 2. We'll look at it when we look at and then this causes it to have, based on all of our assumptions, just or under 10%, which is probably something we wouldn't go for. Here's a picture of it. Oof, so many places.
What is that?
It's a trailer, I think.
That metal thing? It looked like an old school bomb or something. What is that?
It's a trailer with like I think it's a barbecue pit. If we're in Memphis, I'm assuming this is the barbecue pit.
Okay. Yeah.
It was as big as the house.
Right?
Serious.
Wait,
this house is actually haunted. This house is haunted for sure. I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, man, this whole thing, I feel like we can get to a point where we can just legit just like essentially just buy the entire block, man, and just like fix up the block.
Yep.
Just raise the value of that entire like 2 sides of the block, the streets, like, because it's crazy.
So it looks like they painted it, since posting it.
that looks
blue.
a lot better.
Yeah.
Actually.
There's still a lot of, it's like they need to finish this paint job right here.
This is stuff that makes me like, why would they go through the effort but then not follow through? Like,
they ran out of money, maybe.
That's crazy.
You ran out of money, things change. You gotta properly budget and have contingency plans.
Even like a little bit more butterscotch paint just to cover that patch of white, like y'all could have done that. I'm not asking you to like butterscotch. Like that's just weird.
Who decided baby blue and butterscotch? Like, what is this? It's almost like you don't want to sell it. Professionally managed bulk brick duplex for sale. Currently half occupied. That's probably why it's only 500.
See, stuff like that, like as from experience, man, that professionally managed doesn't mean a damn thing.
Doesn't mean anything, yeah.
Doesn't mean a damn thing, dude. I can make an LLC right now and say I manage properties. Like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I don't have processes. I don't have, like, there's no reason a professionally managed place would look like this. Who even allowed them to take pictures with garbage like around it? Like,
yeah, I don't know.
I get it. You ran out of money, but that's just effort. Like, you could literally just like
shove the garbage out of the way and take the photo.
Like, bro, like that's like when your mom tells you to clean your room. It's like, at least shove the stuff in the closet or under your bed, man. Like you really like,
Yeah,
come
you're right.
on.
But again, you know, that's where the value is. If somebody is not is doesn't have the ethic to follow through and finish a paint job or push garbage away, then they're likely somebody who wants the property less than we want to have it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But this one's in Riverview, a place called Riverview, South
The same
Memphis
South
again.
Memphis area.
Yeah. Most of the ones that I see here are either in this area or like this area, which I believe was like that Hollywood area from before. Martin Luther King Jr. Riverside Park seems like the biggest. And then there's Riverview Park. There's a couple of parks. Zoomed in almost all the way and haven't seen a church yet, which I don't know to feel good or bad about.
There's a lot of empty land.
Yeah, there is. Yeah. Like this is funny. Or maybe they're just open. Maybe they're just open. Let me not hate. But yeah, this one I think can be talked down. I should also start doing that as like adding notes. Like this one I think can be talked down because it's half occupied and the way that they were willing to take pictures, the way that it looked. I think there's room for negotiation on this price. I should put some sort of like maybe like an asterisk here. Next one is 150 Gage Avenue, 70K, built in 1950. This gives us 17 and a half. What is that, down payment? It's been on for a month and a half. Rents are 600. Wait, am I doing this right? Yeah, okay. Sorry, I skipped. I should go to this one. 1951, 1720 Edward Ave. A down payment of 25K. At Justin is basically 100,000. The rents are at 880, which does not, we don't reach the 1% rule here. So I'm doubting, which I did, the debt service is pretty low. We can just look at it, but this isn't something we would, the price is too high. It's not, the value isn't there, basically. But it looks like a simple, like buy and leave alone. That's another thing I like sort of had to think about and consider is like, you know, the difference in, let's say a 10% cash on cash return and a 22% cash on cash return could be that like unforeseen expenses and upkeep that we haven't seen that we need to deal with, where that 10% cash on cash return perhaps we wouldn't have to deal with. You see what I'm saying? Maybe at the end of the day, that 20% cash on cash return turns into 7 because of headache. Like, this is a very clean neighborhood.
Yeah, that looks nice.
Pretty simple. It's a lot of space.
I don't know why they don't utilize the space. Like
they have so much of it that they don't even, you know.
Yes.
Cypress Creek, University Lane. That's a good sign. Well, that's just a name. Hyde Park again. So I think this is the north. Yeah. So it's the north area. And so like the value is in here at this price, but it's a nice, simple, so duplex great investment opportunity, central heat and air. This is also a problem. There's somebody who's been here for a long time, but they're paying significantly lower than market rate.
380, wow.
Yeah. And this one has been here for 2 years paying 500. Even this one's probably below market at this point. I don't think this person's really serious about selling. I think they're just putting, sorry, I don't know why I went like that. I think they're just trying out the market because they say that, you know, until you send in your offer, you can't view any numbers or anything like that. It's like, I think they're just putting feelers out, but they're not necessarily, they don't need to sell.
I feel like I see that a lot though, where until you send an offer, you can't view the property, or like they're not going to take you seriously until, right. It usually depends on how hot the market is. Like if it's a hot market, then they want to see you pre-qualified. They want to see your like deposit to get any sort of contract and get anything else from the seller.
This is a big steal. Theft. They got it in 2016. Probably put a lot of work into it. And think, to get their numbers correct on their exit, they probably think they need to make something like 80. And this is just a starting point, something like that. Because this just came up. So it hasn't been on that long. But yeah, this is like I think that at the end of the day, we want our property to look like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a nice looking property. And I think there's value to be added by increasing those rents. But the question is, how difficult will that be in terms of, whether we need to get new tenants or the existing tenants will be likely willing to pay more for the space.
Right. And which is another thing we have to figure out is what the process is for raising rents and how tenant friendly or landlord friendly this area is, which is something to explore later. So this one is built in 1950, 150 East Gage. I mean, how are we doing on time? I gotta go a little faster. Actually, no, we're fine. 70K, which means we could basically do it now if we wanted. Maybe I should put this at 35. Like we said before, we should have maybe 10% extra.
Well, keep it at 25, but just know, because if you put it at 35, it'll skew the rest of the numbers. So
Sure.
Keep it at 25.
Okay.
Yeah, for the return. So
in our
keep
head,
the
just
returns
have
correct. And just,
just
for
add 10
CapEx,
10,000.
just say, 10 a unit or something like that, or seven and a half.
Which we do, which I should have. We already did that, I think. CapEx 20%.
That's 20%.
Here.
That's 20% of the revenue. So we should honestly just say, okay, add 10,000 for year 0 CapEx in case something happens, and that'll be the all-in equity.
It got complicated for me. We'll deal with it later. I was thinking either so just this number plus 10,000 would equal this number. Is that what you're saying? So like this.
No, because that estimated CapEx is derived from the revenue, right? What we're trying to do is say how much we're going to need up front before we got any revenue. So it would be the 25% obviously for the down payment plus CapEx reserves in case something happens in year 0 before we collected any money. So then that would bring, it would be the purchase or the number of units times however much money per unit we think we will need in reserves. So for instance, in this case, this is a duplex, it'll be 2 times 5,000 or 2 times 3,500, whatever we think will be the necessary funds to have in reserves in day 0.
How do you derive that number? Necessary, just a guesstimate?
Yeah, usually I like to say 10,000 a unit to be conservative. But again, it's up to us in terms of what we think we'll need. And it'll be up to the property. If it's like a dilapidated property, obviously it's gonna need more. If it's closer to turnkey, we'll probably need a lot less. So
I gotta think about how to implement that in this criteria track list, because that's really important, the point you're making. But okay, so East Gage, 2 bed, 2 bath, so it's a 2 1-on-1s. Let's see what they have here. Well, it looks pretty simple. Let's look at the see if we can find what it looks like today. It's pretty simple. Got a yard. It's on the corner. It's across the street from another. This is wide open space. I think this looks like pretty working class. No one's bothering anyone. That's a boarded building. Go ahead.
Is that a corner lot?
Yeah. This one. This is East Gage here.
All right.
150 East Gage. And then let's see where we are in relation to everything else. Place called Mallory Heights. No, I want to maximize. How do I get this to do what I wanted to do? Let me see. Okay, I'll take it for what it's worth. Mallory Heights. Oh, it's doing it again. What is happening? So this is South again. These seem to be majority South, actually.
Yeah.
What's it next to? Pine Hill. Oh, it's a golf course. There's a golf course here. Pine Hill Park. Oh, it's a park. Park with a small, probably like a few holes, maybe 9 holes, something like that. We have a gym. Is this a real grocery store? No, it's a corner store. Lotta Burger. It's a hilarious name. So it's still the hood. But it seemed like a nice, respectable place. Let's see what the numbers were on it. So yeah, no, it was at 70K, which is, you know, a pretty sweet spot, still doable, but it'll be a stretch, especially considering the cash on cash, which is just 5%. Actually, I'm gonna start skipping these 5% ones. Although,
Yeah.
I mean, they do have value in
Can
that. Go ahead.
Can we look at can we add zip code as like a separate thing?
Sure.
Just because I'm learning that that's an easy way to just kind of keep things straight. Like what neighbor you'll see a pattern start to emerge, kind of, right?
Mm.
Like,
let's put this one here just to start. East Gage, Tennessee. It doesn't even say it yet. $38,109. That's a good point. East Gage. I like the way that looked. Okay. So I think there's value in seeing these like lower cash on cash returns because they are like stable. They're like what we can aspire to while still trying to capture these. So let's just quickly look at this one. 1484 Oaktown. Oak Lawn, sorry. 67K. Hold on, let me look at the numbers right quick. Oh, price drop. So it was originally listed at 70K. Basically the same numbers, same exact numbers as this one. But let's look. Again, another like very stable looking property. Oof, oof, oof. Sounds across the street, need help. But it's been on for 39 days. Probably super stable. Let's see, remove. These lists were listed for rent last year at 330. That's rough.
Is it duplex or what?
This is a duplex.
Yeah.
330 a side?
Yeah, it has it here, which it does. Estimated monthly rents is 600 total. And I think that's attributed to the region, I'm pretty sure. Actually, let me, like you were saying before, let's get. There might be some sort of other, I mean, there's definitely probably some tie between zip code and rents. That one's just a rough one. Okay, so this one's okay. So this is another one that should be more lucrative. At 8, it's expensive though. So this one's at 80,000, built in 1965. Been on it for 2 months, so they may start to be able to wiggle. High rents though. High rents, which give us a high return. $79.90. Is that what I put? Yeah. So 80,000 is what the ask is.
It's a good looking neighborhood for the most
Yeah.
part.
I think it's this one. This one right here. So it's just a base hit. This, I don't know how I feel about this. I guess I'll
One
just
thing we'll
get
have to
used it.
consider at some point is where property managers will actually be willing to manage, and that'll be a nice heuristic or gauge or however you want to call it for where we'll ultimately own, because I mean it's going to be tough to manage remotely, especially if we're looking at like $300 to $500 rents. Chances are those people don't have bank accounts where they can just send us money electronically. It's going to be something that's collected by hand or check or money order. So we're most likely going to use property managers, and so we're going to be sort of beholden to where property managers are interested in managing.
Yeah, it's true.
What am I trying to do exactly? I was trying to sorry. Trying to find where it is on the map.
Hey guys, I'm about to head out.
Okay.
All right, man.
All right.
But I'm going to end it, but I'm just going to keep it rolling. So whenever you're done, just like the recording should keep going. So just stop it. And then I think it should be good.
Okay. I mean, that was just an analysis, so it's like, we'll be fine.
All right.
All right. Okay. This one is North Memphis. I don't know what was near. So a few blocks from the zoo. Just North Memphis, the Heights or Grahamwood. But yeah, this place is a little expensive. Not necessarily, none of these are out of our range, but it's a tough ask. But it does produce because of the rents. The rents are doing well here. Okay, and then the next one is built in 1922, so it's one of the newer ones. This one too, but this was one of the surprising. No, it's not actually. It's like probably one of the older ones. But a 16 and a quarter ask for down payment. It's been on for a very long time. Rents are doing super well. They're like at the top of this list, and the returns are high. Which, like again, after a certain clip, I haven't figured out where it is exactly, but and my guess is this is going to be an interesting one, right? How this guy's getting 1,000?
I don't believe it.
Beyond me. How is it possible? 65K with 1,000. That's destroying the 1% rule. Property details. Great investing. Currently rented at 500 each door. Seller will paint exterior before closing. Occupied. Please do not disturb tenants. Okay.
I don't believe it. Because why would it be listed for so long?
Yeah.
I imagine with that listing, someone's kicked the tires on it.
Whew, it's just inexplicably like downtrodden. Like there's no need.
But the fact that it's in a nice area, I mean, what looks to be a nice area at least is a plus in that, you know, it should retain value or attain value given its area, but I don't believe that listing at all.
This type of thing. So it's like it's brick. You know, you'd have to paint this area. You have to paint this area. You'd have to clean it up. The lawn looks kept. If it's already cash flowing at 500, assuming that that's true, which you'd have to see, it would be a good buy. I can't remember 65,000. Like it would be. I can't believe that. There's got to be something else because some other person will come and see $1,000. Yeah, like this should be
For 100
listed.
days. It's been on the market.
You think that this could go for 100K if you just did a paint job, assuming that all these other things are true.
Yeah,
this return is nuts. But it would be interesting to like explore more and find out exactly why.
what's wrong with
this
it?
is yeah, this is another
What's the
one.
zip code?
Oh, sorry. The zip code is
38106.
38106. Yeah. Three eight one oh six. 38109. Yeah, I can do this one later. But yeah, let's move on to this one. This one again. So over 20% cash on cash return, given the numbers and pretty conservative estimates. While rents are only at 550, this must be either half occupied, but it's 40K and been on for super long. So I'm guessing it looks nuts or looks nuts.
Yeah, there's probably some real deal issues
that we don't know about. This is also two bed, one baths.
What's the square footage, did it say?
I'm sure it does. 1350.
1350?
50.
Rents for 275 per side.
Wow.
Part of a large portfolio. So I think again, one of the things, another parameter, along with adding, for our own knowledge, would be, the ease, like Charles was saying before. But another thing would be, Another thing would be adding or looking for properties that are part of a larger portfolio. I think there would be some value to that too. This one's zip 38107. So we have 38109, 38107. So I'm sure this is in the northern area. Let me see if there was anything interesting before. Foreclosure auction for an unpaid balance last year. Home in default last year. So maybe this person's trying to get out. There might be a deal here to even get farther down than 39.
Yeah.
And look at the rent estimate. So obviously, they don't have all the information and all the context, and we don't know what's going on with this property in particular. But its average rents in this region was that more than double what they currently are? So let's imagine that, we dealt with whatever we need to deal with and found out, and the rents were even 500 a piece, even though they're saying 633.
You put 100 there.
You put 100.
Oh, sorry. What? So assuming we can find out what it was, this is still interesting. We have to deal with this because this is where value is potentially. If we investigate and find out it's something that's like not too onerous, not too and doable, and this person is part of a portfolio, and let's more thing is to see. Let me just do it this way. New Chicago, it's a different area. North Memphis again. Super north, super high north. And also, did we ever talk about how we would decide the grade of a neighborhood?
I think we said by the like ratio of renters to owners.
Okay.
I don't know how we would get that information though.
Ratio of renters to owner. Let's see here at least. Sorry. Let's try to, I mean, at least lightly over the next 2 weeks, figure out a way to grade it. We can do some research on it and figure out how we want to grade it, a neighborhood, because I think that, I mean, that impacts the price as well and our willingness to deal with it.
Yeah.
The next one is, what is this? 115 Hunter Ave. So some of these are only on this guy's site. They're not actually listed on Zillow. I think they're off market. Actually, we've seen this one before, haven't we?
Yeah.
I
That
recognize
looks
this one.
okay.
Yeah, this is not bad. One of the renters is just under 5. The other one's at 450. So was it just under 1,000?
Yeah, like
For
940, I
rents?
think. 945.
Yeah, can't be mad. 945, you're right.
Against a price of what, 60?
Yeah,
65?
so that's a good return. That should be, yeah. Wait, sorry, let me see. Yeah, 115 Hunter Ave, 65K. So let's look at the, this is Lyman, that was the old one. Let's look at the neighborhood and get the zip code. But that one looks solid. Like, let's see what it looks like today or most recently. Yeah. Oh, this is one with the bends. Y'all remember the bends and the pipes. Yeah, we've seen this one before. This is a solid pick. I actually really like this one. 38108 again. So it's like North Memphis, I believe. Yeah, super north. Was it Northeast Memphis? I like this property a lot, actually. Been on for 145 days. What is it we don't get?
I think the seller, because I mean, it said in the property bio that they quote unquote strongly prefer bulk offers. So maybe there's something else in that bulk that is not as appetizing for a buyer, and he's not willing to sell just this piece. So by way of that, it's listed for a long period of time. Because I can see, unless there's some major structural issues, why this would still be here.
This is a solid property. Like, this would be a picture perfect, like, first one. It's got great rents, manageable price, been on for a while. So like I'm assuming he's not gonna be as cantankerous to
That's
deal
what
with.
I'm saying, that he would be more cantankerous because
More
it would have
cantankerous.
already sold. Yeah, but there must be something else in that bulk that isn't as good, and he really, really wants to sell this off with the bad. So this is like a sort of like the prize possession that you have to take some of his garbage with to get.
Yeah.
Because why else would it still be here? You know?
I don't know, for a long time too. Super manageable. Like, it's kind of weird. Okay, let's but yeah, this is part of the process. I think we've seen 4 that we could like follow so far. Let me see, 10 we have 15 minutes. We can do this. So we have this one in North Hollywood, built in 1928. This is a solid, I believe this was a solid too. Let me look more at the specs. So relatively cheap, much cheaper than our average. I believe our average is 66,000. This is at $50,000, which gives us just under 13 or just under 12 and a half for a down payment. Is this right? Am I looking at the same one? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Again, been on for a while. Strong rents. Good cash, like scary cash on cash
Mm-hmm.
return. Let's obviously take a look. What was it? It was 1794 North Hollywood Street. So tenant occupied, 450 per side. Seller
side
slightly
leased.
prefers bulk offers. Is it all
So
side
I
one
think that
lease
one
through?
of the units is empty.
Is that what that is?
I mean, why would he say side one leased through a certain time and not say anything about side two? That leads me
Maybe.
to believe that there's nobody in side two.
I assumed it was month to month, but you could be right. Oh, maybe here they'll tell us. No, you're probably right.
I'm just trying. I'm always trying to think of ways or reasons why it's been on the market for so long with such a great deal.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing that's one of the issues, and that leads me to believe that side two needs a lot of work, which also, and then the first thing that's listed in capitalized letters is investors only. So I'm guessing this person wants only cash offers, which is fine because we could probably do like a hard money thing that would only take a few days to close if we really wanted the property. So that's not a big issue. That's just something to note from the investor side or from the owner side. What he's looking for is probably just straight cash, and he doesn't want to put any more cash into the property, which is why that second unit is vacant, and why the purchase price is lower, and why it's still on the market.
Looks like it's this property right here. So it's off a pretty major road,
Mm-hmm.
North Hollywood Street. This one right here. Looks like it's standalone. You know what I mean? Like you can go through all four sides of it. This is behind it, just fields. And then this is the back area. What is that?
Barbecue.
I assume every freestanding building is some sort of barbecue pit. So it's got it's got a healthy side yard, backyard, front yard. It's a lot of space. And then a whole other yard. There's so much space out here. But yeah, this one's probably got a story. Oh, at least we didn't look at the let's see if we can look at it in a map. It's another 38108 St. Mary's Church. So wait, hold on. So behind it is just space. This is just field.
So it's like a really remote area.
Yeah, look, it's just these two things. This patch here. Sorry, this patch here, and then it's just this long, not a highway, but kind of a highway. Until you get into, so it's like until you get into town.
Mm-hmm.
Wolf River, Hollywood area again. This is I'm guessing north. Let's see, our parks in northeast. You got to figure out a way to block by block grade. But this is 38108. So these two are proximal. And then we have 4 more to go. Why did I put 900 here? Oh, it's because I assumed. Rent 450 per side one is leased. So let's put the side one at let's put it at 450. It still makes the one, or just barely misses 1%. It's an okay. Okay, and then the next one is built in 1945 for 37K, which is lower than 10,000 for a down payment. Been on for quite a long, like a long time. 141. Is that 3 months? 4 months. 2 1-and-1s, 400, which is low, but it's over 10% because of how cheap the house is. Oh, I thought so. I didn't. I had some. I can't remember what my apprehension with this was, but the rents are 200 per side, which is crazy to me. Just in my brain, paying $200 for rent. But this is, as you might guess, right next to a church.
And as we get lower and lower in the rent costs, we got to consider the tenant profile that we're going to be attracting.
Yeah. This one's literally right next door to a church on this side, but it allows you to see the side and the back of the building. It looks like there was some roof work done here recently. Pretty simple neighborhood. Let's go a little bit farther down the way. Boarded up. So I think the rents are super low. I don't quick map view. This map, I don't know if it's Zillow. Redfin's map doesn't really tell me what I would like.
And these rents are so low, 200 a side.
Yeah.
Crazy. Like we got to consider the profile as well as the actual dollars we're going to be bringing in, because you know a roof is going to cost what a roof costs, regardless of whether rents are 400 or 4,000. So you know if it takes 2 years worth of cash flow to cover a new water heater, then that starts to make less sense.
Right. And I wonder if you could do cash for keys. I don't know if they have that out there where it's like, look, bro, like here's $4,000. You need to move out, or $3,000. I mean, shit, they're paying $300 a month. That's how much is a year's rent? 300 times 12 is $3,600.
$3,600.
Yeah. Like,
It's not 300, it's 200.
okay, excuse me.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if we could just do cash for keys, and then that'll give you the opportunity to renovate it and then put somebody in there who's going to pay, market, which is what, 500 a side, 550 a side, something like that.
Yeah, and this is like, I don't know the size. I mean, the building looks pretty long. It's a little narrow, but it looks long.
Mm-hmm.
That's that double barrel shotgun style.
That shotgun building, yeah, you can see straight through the back.
It's raised, which I like. I don't want no problems under. And it's right next to a church, and the church is well kept. Like, this is a clean, at least on this day. There could be something there, which is probably why I made the list. That's nuts though. Let's say what's if we called it 500 aside, because we wouldn't do all that work not to raise it at least 500.
But then expect like 30,000 in capex.
Yeah. So how would I calculate
Which
that?
again, depending on what kind of loan we get, would either have to be financed or come out of pocket. So that means raising an extra $30,000 between all of us.
Would it be 30 with that? Is that a comfortable? That's just your most.
I'm just being conservative, because if it needs a gut reno, that's what it's going to cost, if not more.
Okay, you know what? You're probably right, because the averages here is 66,000. This one's 34. It's roughly a difference of 20. Let's call it 25K. Did I put that in the right place? Estimated capex. No, still didn't work the way I wanted it to.
Just add it to the
that's
down
probably
payment
why.
for the sake of ease, yeah.
Okay, so let's put this at 1,000. The down payment would be, let's call it 29, no, 39.
Well,
Damn. That's
well,
so
not
much.
like no, add it. Don't like literally. I mean, like just add the amount to the down payment, because if you literally add it, then it's going to skew the rest of the numbers.
Oh, just in your head, just in my head.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So call it 39,000 as opposed to 9,000.
I should put that somewhere. That, but it won't tell me what it will do to. It's fine. It would be a lot. I got to deal with that later. Okay. But you guys think that one is interesting as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's another 38,108. Let me see. Sorry. This one, built in 1949, 85K is probably the most expensive, these two. Which should cost for a $20,000 down payment, but rents are pretty strong. Even though cash on cash is still under 10%, which essentially I think we can comfortably say is a no-go.
What's the time on this, guys?
10:58. We have two more.
Yeah.
We have 2 more minutes.
All right.
So the thing on this one is like, what would quote unquote market rents be for a 2x1 in the area? Because yeah, the going in cap rate is going to be trash with the rents being an aggregate 800 plus bucks. But if we can bump that up significantly, over the course of 6 to 12 months, the real cap rate will be a lot bigger under our management. So that's how you make a deal, right? So we should consider market rents when we're looking at this sort of stuff.
Okay. This is a pretty, I should use this map again. This is a pretty solid area, it looks like. Pretty solid property, it looks like. This one looks like a base hit. A little pricey though. And farther out, I don't know what, the pros and cons are of being farther out, because you're farther from downtown Memphis, but you're closer to Walmart Superstore. So, which is it?
I don't think Memphis is I don't think being far from downtown is a bad thing. I think
yeah,
it's kind of like it's like an old school kind of city where like
the suburbs are where you want to be.
Yeah, for sure.
That's similar to like Cleveland. Like actual Cleveland city is pretty terrible, but all the periphery is where people actually want to live, which is kind of counterintuitive for us because we're all from big city places.
So we'll maintain duplex with sale immediate cash flow and no major repairs needed. Cash buyers preferred. Do not disturb tenants. So this might be another person who's just putting a feeler out, got a well-maintained property. If somebody wants to nab it up, and pay a premium to not deal with nonsense, and have at it for a solid 8.73. But it's been on for a while. This person doesn't care. This is a year, right? This is almost a year.
Just almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll be the one to determine whether it needs to be CapEx.
The other point of is it on the market because they don't care, or because, hey, like, I'm not selling this until I can sell everything else. Like, you got to buy the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like, you can't go a la carte.
But I think it would have said, did it say part of a portfolio?
No.
No, this one's on standalone. This one is just a guy or a girl or a group. Okay. I mean, it's a little pricey, but we can look into it if you guys are interested. Yay, nay?
Yeah, let's keep it on the list.
Yeah.
I'm down for whatever makes money, man.
it just makes less money given the price, but the headache is probably less, but it's been on for a while. Anyway, so we have Rosemont Avenue, which is
Zip code?
been on, zip code is, let's see,
363 something.
38
122.
122.
Okay.
I think it's close to the other one we just looked at, which is also 38 122.
Yeah, I mean, I keep saying like that's the one, that's the good zip code where it's
Yeah.
it's like working class, but it's not like ratchet.
Maybe if we can find
You
it.
said 38122. I'm sorry.
38122.
You said
Yeah.
38122. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's probably
That's
a
where
gem.
that's where one of mine is.
Yeah, okay. We should probably try to focus on being close to this place and see if we can find some value there. But this one again is this one's different. It's 2-2.
38122. Yeah.
So you're
No,
talking about
I
the
meant
unit mix.
the unit mix, the
Oh, my
breakdown
bad.
is two bed, two bath for these ones. Which
On
is
each side
which
or
is
total?
each side,
Okay, yeah, that's good.
which allows the rents to be,
Much higher.
not much higher. They're not market,
Potentially.
but potentially, yes, correct.
But the market rents, because I mean, we just gotta assume that the current operators are trash. Like they don't care about raising rents. They probably bought it for $10,000 and they're making plenty of money. But
Yeah.
like we're gonna come in and bring things to market.
Yeah.
Hey
guys, I actually gotta go.
Okay. Can you stay for one more minute or no? Because this one I don't really care about. It's a little out of our range. This one I'm kind of interested in talking about.
We gotta be quick. I got the other meetings.
Okay. So this one is a triplex for 70K, which just recently had a price cut. Some more specs on it. It doesn't have the rental value. I was going to ask you guys what would make sense for us to approach this or to answer or to try to get it. The computer's acting stupid right now. Reduce, back on the market, contract fails, so somebody tried to buy it. Two bed, one bath, and one standalone, one bed, one bath. Selling as is, no repairs will be made, so there's something there.
Yeah, there's probably something.
There's definitely probably something. 38 114, I don't know where that is, but I was just wondering what you guys thoughts, because this is the only triplex I've seen, and I don't have any numbers for rents.
Did they put any on there?
Nah. I don't know what it's renting at. I actually saw this before, and I think it did go under contract, and now it's back. Oh, this is what so this is what I thought was interesting, is that this is the last house on the good side of the tracks. Like, I was wondering which side of the tracks this was on, and then, the first store that I see on this side of the tracks is the corner store, which leads me to believe.
Man, I don't like that corner stores, bro. Corner stores usually isn't a good sign when
it's on the other side of the tracks.
Oh, okay.
Here's my point. It's like the value here, there's good potential for value here.
I see
because of that fact. Yeah. That's simply what I was saying. And I thought that was interesting. But that's all. There's nothing and then the fact, I mean,
can you zoom out to see the whole map, like where it is in relation to everything else?
You mean the top down map?
The aerial view, yeah. Okay.
So it's in a weird place considering where we're
looking. I don't think we've looked at anything there before.
No, we haven't. It's a little farther.
That's near downtown, man.
Downtown's here.
Yeah, it's close.
Yeah. Definitely. But I think it's interesting. It's a threeplex, which, I'm all about the spreading of the risks.
Right. All right, fellas, I really do have to go.
All right. See,
I'm gonna get fined $10.
It's okay. We're pretty much done anyway.
Peace out, bro.
Let me clean this up and then we can. So, Again, the stats on this one, we don't have rents, but let's assume
I mean,
the
you can even
rents.
assume that each rent is $275. It still looks like a good deal.
Yeah, I assume that, we make collectively $700. At $700 is still just around 10%,
Yeah.
and the risk is spread, which I like. And the thing though is that, they're being very nonchalant about it doesn't seem like it'll be simple. It seems like there's going to be some sort of something for it to have fallen out even after a price cut, or as a result of falling out a price cut to 15K. So what is it there that costs 15K?
Structural
basically?
damage.
Right.
Or liens or something like that.
Liens would be much better. I would much rather deal with liens. Liens is just, somebody's debt, so we can just charge them in the sale price as opposed to structural damage, which will take perhaps contracting, oversight, paying attention, vacancies, potentially, things of this nature, like more problems, basically. But that's pretty much it for this round. I still think
so. For next meeting, what would be the homework pertaining to next meeting? Obviously, send your picture, update your LinkedIn, I suppose, if you're for the website.
Yeah.
Reaching out to brokers, right? Or agents or whatever.
Yeah. Reaching out to brokers. Okay. Potentially reaching out to, or I can get another list going of like credit unions in the area and reaching out to them, or having a list of credit unions. But pretty much just like the what you want in your bio, if it's a link, if it's your job title, so that could be set up. And then from there, just more mulling over the numbers, and I'll keep an eye out, and then I'll also do the list of credit unions.
If it's possible, can you guys put that in the WhatsApp for me, please? So,
yeah, did anyone take notes? Actually, all the people who generally take notes were gone.
It's a video.
Yeah, I wasn't able to. Sorry, guys.
Okay. Well, then I'll when I hear it back sometime during the week, then I'll just put those. Or I can just do that now. What did we just say?
Reach out to agents, brokers, update your LinkedIn, and what else?
And then send Innocent what you want on your portion, your section. That's it.
Or just put it in the WhatsApp.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, guys.
All right.
Wait, sorry.
Viewers, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, to the podcast, whatever form of social media you are viewing this or listening to this. And thank you for watching Red Summer Holdings.
All right, guys.
All right.
Peace.
Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Peace.